Alright, got the window out. Took some doing to cut that old hard rubber, but I did get it all out. And I got the new window over there. So I'm just gonna wire brush this. Looks like it had white paint in it before. And I'll just spray this with white paint and see what I can do about putting this rubber and window in. Well, I got that all cleaned up, painted white again. I'll let it dry and see what I can do about putting it on the window. And I think I put it on the window first and then set the whole thing up in here and then pull the lip over this back edge. I'm not sure how to do it, but figure out something. Well, Mr. Windshield is a beauty. Not cracked or nothing. I guess the next thing would be to try to get this rubber around it. It looks like it's one piece. It's not really molded to any particular shape. I guess if I get the rubber on it, then go into the truck. I don't think you'd ever get this windshield in if the rubber was on the truck. Well, the rubber went on it well enough. It's not holding real tight. It's going to have some kind of seal in there, or it's going to leak water. And it don't look like it's really that hard to get in. Just that one edge there. Might be better to try to put the rubber inside the truck and then work the windshield around. I'm not sure. Not a glass guy. Well, I fought with this all day. I finally got the rubber in good, and I used a porta power to squish that top up in there and hold it. It's glued pretty good. I use that yellow weather strip adhesive. So I think it's in. It's still got this outer lip is not quite right, but the rubber's in and it's pretty much holding. So, and I've got plenty of bend in it here to try to get the window in. I think I can set the window here in the bottom, lubricate it good, or use silicone or something and get it in there, and then get it around here to the corner and just fool around with it. You can put a rope in them or a little string or something and pull that out. But to me it was good just getting that damn thing in there and glued in. I can always force some silicone under it, but and I put my little gas gauge in. You can't see it there, but it's coming up to just barely showing on the empty. put a gallon in it and it moved it just a little. So that's good. Seat's still working good. So basically I get that window in and just a little bit more work on this thing, a few days, and I'll get it out of my hair. I'm still trying to get that AMX, but I think what I'll do is have the motor and transmission pulled out and bring the shell down here and paint up all underneath it and clean it good. And I got to put a camshaft and manifold and all kinds of stuff on that motor, so might as well do that and have the transmission looked at, and then paint this, and we'll have a really nice looking car here. Well, I put this rubber in and glued it, and then tried to put the window in, plenty of soap and stuff, and it just really not fitting. I don't have the tools, and apparently you're supposed to put the windshield in the rubber and then put the rubber in and pull a rope around. And I've kind of got it started here. It's really not you know, I've got like a 1/4 of an inch. This glass is off this way. I can kind of get it down in that rubber, but I've got a long ways to go there on top. So this is probably not gonna work. I worked on it a little bit. I've kind of got the bottom in, but when it gets around to this area, of course, it's tilted up, and that's not going into the rubber at all. I got a glass guy I called, and he didn't seem to be picking up or answering. Maybe I'll just call another glass guy and have him put it in. I did glue that in, let it set a couple days, but I can tear it out pretty easily. Shouldn't be that much trouble to get that rubber out of the frame. Well, I pulled the rubber out, put it on the window. Of course, I got soap all over that window so the tape's not sticking. It goes on, but it's really loose. I don't see how it would hold long enough to get it up in there. Maybe you're supposed to glue that onto the windshield. And I got this pulled out again. I can still see some of my glue. It didn't really stick very well. It basically just melted the paint. I think there's a special primer or something you put on here. I've got some stuff. This is a primerless to glass. Guess I ought to read the instructions on it. Guess I'll find out. Well, I found a guy that'll put this window in for $160, so everybody else wanted $300, so that's a pretty good deal. So I primed or painted this again, and since I was working on this, I just put some Bondo on this big dent here, and sanded it off. I'll put a little primer on it, and I'll just put some of that white paint in this area. Well, I started sanding on this, basically just taking that old oxidized paint off. The rusty spot I hit with 80 grit. Now I've got 180, and it's a kind of a pretty blue. Black places you can see there is where I haven't really got to it good, but you can see it's a sort of a blue color. I'm taking most of the paint off, but it's better looking than that. You can see right there where I quit compared to that. Looks a lot better, so I'm going to continue with that. Now I'm starting to be able to see my dents. I got some right there in the hood, but nothing real bad yet. That one rust spot there. I'll just continue on, and I'll get this at least the hood and the front part finished, and put that rust converter on it. So that ought to look pretty decent. Well, there it is, painted with a rust converter. Turned out pretty good. Looks like I could have got a lot more here in the front, but mixed it with the water that was running. But it looks pretty decent. At any rate, it'll give it a pretty good shine, and I won't have any brush strokes in it. So, and it's kind of blue, and it does pick up that blue pretty good. Looks like some of it here in the front's already dry, but it's turning the rust black, and that's the purpose. And make this hood and this side look a lot better. So I'll do the whole truck. It'll leave a kind of a semi-gloss on the whole thing, so it'll look real nice. Well, there it is. This rust stuff kind of turns black, and you can see the brush strokes. I just kind of took black on across that white there. This side is pretty much what you see, but looks pretty good. I painted that headlight surround. So the front of the truck looks good now. I still have to do the side and the roof, but it's kind of shiny looking. So, and it'll all kind of match the bed. Yeah, it's got a nice gloss to it. Kind of a semi-gloss, but it's a lot better than just old dead paint. And some of that blue come out. So it looks pretty good. Well, I don't know what kind of a video this is, but found one way not to put in a window. We got a guy coming tomorrow, and he only wanted $160 or something, so I'll have him put it in, and once we got a new window in it, it'll start looking like a truck for sure.